Hey guys, doing the munch here, and basically I apologize for the really grainy, like kind of real low tech quality of everything around me. But today, today is the day of the Greatest Royal Rumble in Saudi Arabia, and basically I want more wrestling content on this channel. So yeah, this is the first bit of wrestling content you guys are gonna get. Um, but yeah, of course, I want to just run down the card, run down what I think is gonna happen, like do all the smarky predictions and stuff like that. So let's get into it, shall we? So. Obviously, they're gonna have like a pre-show to this, so that's probably going to be like that's probably going to be like, of course, 205 Live is going to be featured on that. So we got one match. We got Cedric Alexander versus Kalisto for the Cruiserweight Championship. It should have been Buddy Murphy, but Buddy Murphy in kayfabe actually was 2 pound over the 205 weight limit, so that's the reason that he's kind of like disappeared from the show and he's replaced with Kalisto. He'll probably turn up in the Rumble. Like that's my prediction. There's no way like they can have him storyline and him not be there. You know, unless he comes out and attacks Cedric Alexander, costing the match. Like I can't picture anything else. But yeah, overall I reckon that's probably gonna be Cedric Alexander retaining by either an outside interference or he could end up winning clean. We don't know. But yeah, the next match on the card that I've got here is the Bludgeon Brothers, which is Luke Harper and my boy Eric Rowan, for the SmackDown Tag Championships against the Usos. Now, the thing is, their win at WrestleMania wasn't really celebrated because, of course, like people kind of dead the Bludgeon Brothers. I hope the Saudi crowd take to them because honestly, that would be like amazing. Like, not only for them, but also the WWE can look at them and think, you know what, if they go over there, we can put them over in the US. Yeah, like honestly, looking at that, I think if anything, I think the Bludgeon Brothers will end up retaining on that one clean. I can't see them like just taking a DQ. Speaking of tag titles, by the way, we got ourselves Bray Wyatt and Matt Hardy versus Cesaro and Sheamus, and this is for the tag titles, for the tag team titles for Raw, which are currently vacant. Um, so yeah, if you want to know the rundown of it, the revive basically there was a tournament that was done for those who don't know. It was a tag team elimination tournament on Raw, and because Cesaro and Sheamus were the number one contenders anyway, basically they decided to do this thing where the final would be the winner of whatever this tournament was would take on Cesaro and Sheamus in the final. So the revival first round was on Raw on the 9th of April, and that was a revival versus Carl Anderson and Luke Gallows. Revival won that. The other round was Bray Wyatt and Matt Hardy. It was Titus Worldwide, and Bray Wyatt and Matt Hardy won that quite convincingly. Same with the revival match. Same with the semifinals. They won that convincingly as well. Um, Looking at it this way, I think they may have already given Matt Hardy like enough this year. I think because he already won the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. So if anything, I either picture a swerve and Bray Wyatt will probably Pearl Harbor Matt Hardy, which of course like the turn heel partner, which would kind of, if anything, it wouldn't even hurt Matt Hardy. It would hurt Bray Wyatt if that happened. The thing is, if they lose clean to Sheamus and Cesaro, I think it's not going to hurt anyone involved. So I reckon it's going to go back to the last previous champions before, which was Sheamus and Cesaro. I reckon there's like no other way they could book it anywhere else. Okay, now we got another match here. We got Jeff Hardy versus Jinder Mahal for the United States Championship. Um, Jeff Hardy, of course, we all know, had come back on the Raw after no, the SmackDown after Mania, I think it was. Or was it? No, it was one of them shows. Um, Jeff Hardy basically beat Jinder Mahal for the United States Championship, and of course, as much as I was upset on Twitter, like basically, Jeff Hardy, to be fair, he deserves it on his way back. Looking at it this way, if they're gonna change a title tonight, though, I think they're gonna have to do a thing where Jinder Mahal will have to get his title back somewhere or another. Jeff Hardy, for him, it looks like he wants a bigger title, but unfortunately, I don't think WWE will have the patience to give it to him. Like, again, we'll have to see what happens, but I reckon it's gonna be Jinder Mahal will take that. Okay, now for a regular singles match, we got John Cena versus Triple H. Oh boy, now this is going to be a difficult one to judge because Cena, of course, Cena didn't do very well against like the Undertaker at WrestleMania. In fact, at WrestleMania, he kind of like people accuse John Cena of taking a night off. They accuse the Undertaker of taking a night off. I'll get into that later. But then, John Cena could potentially do either a 10-minute match or a 25-minute match, depending how they book it. Triple H can still go just by his age, so I reckon there's definitely going to be an announce table broken there. I reckon though, just for reasons of promotion and stuff, it'll probably end up John Cena winning, just because they're throwing WWE are throwing everything in the kitchen sink at this event, so there is no way they can have like the guy who's been shaking hands with the press and everything, like Triple H. There's no way they can have Triple H winning this. So yeah, overall, I reckon that match is going to be a John Cena victory. John Cena victory. The Saudi crowd go crazy. Cena goes over. Cena gets to go back to movies. And now we got another match. Speaking of the Undertaker from earlier, we got the Undertaker versus Alexander Rusev in a casket match. Again, they're throwing everything in the kitchen sink at this. Initially, about 3 weeks ago, it was announced that Undertaker was going to take on Rusev, and then 2 days after the announcement, Rusev was removed and then taken back, and then Chris Jericho replaced him. And Chris Jericho confirmed on his podcast that he had no interest in a casket match. So he was removed to the regular Rumble. Now he was moved to the Super Royal Greatest Royal Rumble. So I'm stumbling here. But yeah, looking at this, there's no way they could fly the Undertaker out there just for him to lose, and especially in a casket match as well. There is no way like Rusev is winning this. Like, as much as people want to make a joke of like the Undertaker's gonna bury Rusev, like the WWE are. Yeah, if anything, Undertaker will win this, but it'll be like a 7-8 minute match. It won't be like a 20-minute classic. Like Undertaker will probably, if anything, Taker's probably got one more Mania left in him. Like, this definitely won't be his retirement match as much as people rumor it. But also there was a rumor going around that he was getting $500,000 for the appearance, which of course could be doable, but who knows? Because of course you got to pay for hotels and stuff as well. So yeah, Rusev's probably gonna lose that match, and Undertaker will probably win in about like 8 minutes. All right, where was I? Okay, so now we got the WWE Championship, not the Universal Championship. That's later. But here we go. We got AJ Styles versus Shinsuke Nakamura. Of course, at WrestleMania they put on a great match despite the crowd not being into it because they were tired by that point. AJ Styles and Shinsuke Nakamura. This is one of them ones where as much as I'm a real big Shinsuke Nakamura fan, like the heel turn is awesome. Like I've been waiting to see that for years. Like Nakamura was last heel in I think it was Wrestle Kingdom 9 against Kota Ibushi. That was the last time he was heel, and this time, especially since he's going up and just hitting AJ in the nuts, there's definitely got to be no way that they're going to play off that storyline, which I think they will. Shinsuke will he'll either win dirty with like a low blow and a roll up, or he's going to win it clean. Like, I could not see AJ Styles retaining on this show, especially since WWE wants to push Nakamura as a heel. But yeah, like I reckon that'll be Nakamura winning. Okay. And then we got the steel cage match for the Universal Championship. This is the Raw title. Brock Lesnar versus Roman Reigns. Now, Lesnar has been re-signed to the company recently, so basically looking at this, Brock Lesnar is probably going to, like, that's the thing. This is going to probably be like a 15-minute match. Both men blade, maybe? Who knows? Like, because, of course, Roman Reigns bladed in WrestleMania. The crowd at Mania was so bad that, honestly, a Saudi crowd who probably don't know who both these people are, who maybe have come from the show from far and wide out of curiosity. People who don't really follow wrestling and don't really boo the faces. Like in a place like Saudi Arabia, the crowd should probably be hotter for this than the one at WrestleMania was. But enough about the crowd. Predictions for this. I'm not sure if Paul Heyman. I don't think Paul Heyman is flying to the show though, because of course it's in Saudi Arabia, and of course he's Jewish. So basically, there's no way. There's no way Paul Heyman's flying out there. So, so essentially, Brock Lesnar will probably be alone, so there won't be any outside interference. In this, I think they've put over Lesnar enough. As much as he got another 2-year contract, there's still other matches that he can do, other feuds he can do. So overall, with this, I reckon it'll be Roman Reigns. Like, will take this. Roman Reigns will be new champion and will probably lead Saudi Arabia with that title. And now for the match I'm most looking forward to on the card, which is the Intercontinental title match in a ladder match. And this goes Seth Rollins, who's the champion, versus Samoa Joe versus The Miz versus Finn Balor. Now, Finn Balor has missed the opportunity multiple times to unleash the demon. Like, of course, at Mania he had the opportunity. He was in New Orleans. He could have had some like witch doctor paint, and it would have fitted in, and plus it would have looked good for the character. But he doesn't really do it unless it's one-on-one matches. And of course, he's in the match with a returning guy who actually beat him as the demon. So Samoa Joe, of course, he got injured before the Royal Rumble, hence the reason he wasn't there. But there was rumors he's going to be in the Greatest Royal Rumble. He didn't really. He's actually expressed interest that he's not doing the final match, but he will be in this match. I don't think they would throw the title on Joe in a place like on a show like this. They won't throw an Intercontinental title on him. Joe's worth more than that. People reckon The Miz could potentially win it, and then hopefully he could end up like beating the Intercontinental title record. He could match. People reckon he's going to match the record of Chris Jericho, who's a former 9-time champion. If not, maybe beat it one day, which I honestly think will happen. But also, days held of a title, I think he'll definitely beat that record after tonight. So, yeah, looking at this, if Finn Balor's the demon, he'll take it. If he's not the demon, The Miz will take it. And now we go on to your main event, which is the Greatest Royal Rumble. This is a Royal Rumble match, which there are 50 participants. So far, only 25 have been announced. I'll go through some big names on this. So, Daniel Bryan, Braun Strowman, Kurt Angle's been confirmed. Titus Worldwide, Elias Goldust, Mojo Rawley, boo. Dolph Ziggler, Corbin, Baron Corbin, and Chad Gable. Also, Bobby Roode, Kevin Owens, and Sami Zayn. Yeah, they were kind of predicted anyway. Biggie Langston, Kofi Kingston, Xavier Woods, Shelton Benjamin, Sin Cara, and Chris Jericho. Of course, like I said earlier. Shane McMahon's in it. And Randy Orton's in it as well. There are 3 free agents who are considered for it as well, which is Rey Mysterio, Great Khali, and Mark Henry. Though there was a thing that was going around saying that basically because there's only 25 people on the card, they were going to double book a couple of people from the show, which honestly I could see happening with some undercard people, but so far they've only announced Raw, SmackDown, and unaffiliated. So I reckon maybe 3 people from 205 Live will turn up. Maybe something like that. 5 people from 205 Live I reckon will turn up. I reckon a couple of people from NXT might turn up, and then they'll have 1 or 2 WWE legends, but then I reckon they could do what TNA does in India, which is then have something like 10 local talent, because WWE have actually opened a performance center in Saudi Arabia, so it's not far-fetched. It's not really too far-fetched. But yeah, I reckon they will have like 10 local wrestlers performing. Okay. Yeah, I'm reading it here, and apparently there's one or two Saudi Arabian WWE Saudi Arabia tryouts who are actually going to be in the Rumble. I don't know any names yet. We're going to have to like see we're going to have to see like how it plays out. But honestly, the way I look at it, like I reckon that's the way they're gonna book it. But then people are wondering, if they're gonna have a really strong wrestler in this match, like will they beat Roman Reigns? Well, Roman Reigns' 12 elimination record, if it's beaten in this match, since there's more people, like will it count towards the final number? Which honestly I don't think it should because it's an unofficial Royal Rumble. But the thing is, the winner just gets a trophy, not a title shot. Um, but yeah, like overall with this, I think if anybody's gonna win this and go over, I think it's gonna be I think Daniel Bryan will probably enter like 25 and stick around to the end, or someone like Braun Strowman will come in like at like 35 or 40 and then just clean house. I can't picture I can't picture anybody who's like any of the Arabian tryouts winning it. I can't picture any of the yes, like but yeah, the way I look at it is probably going to be one of those two. It's going to be Daniel Bryan or Braun Strowman. Just I don't think the Roman Reigns record will be broken, but again, I don't think it should count for this match. Okay, so yeah, that's my predictions overall, like guys. Um, if you agree, like I apologize, like I kind of rambled on a bit because this is kind of like new content for the channel, but yeah, look forward to more wrestling like on this channel in the future. Either way, if you enjoyed this video, please leave a like and subscribe. And if you want to see more wrestling, just comment below. Like if you want to see me like do more wrestling related content. Like if not, like I wish you all have a nice day, and I hope you enjoy the Greatest Royal Rumble.